Hello there, and a very warm welcome to the Overseas Guides Company's YouTube presentation. Well, moving to any new country is going to be a huge change, but it's become much, much more popular over the years, particularly for people of a certain age. I think perhaps I come into that category. People of retirement age. You obviously need to have a real awareness of what you're letting yourself in for, and I think this is even more important as you get older. The changes are going to seem even greater. But I think the British desire to experience life abroad is something that's probably in our blood. If you think about the fact that we're a small island nation, distant horizons have always had some attraction. And for hundreds of years, a lot of people with a real sense of adventure or desire to make a fortune perhaps would head off to far-flung corners of the Commonwealth. Lots of people emigrated in the 60s to Canada and the US, and sometimes to Australia as well. I think what's different today, though, is that many adventurers are going to be older, more likely to be in their 50s and 60s, whereas in the past, elderly Brits tended to settle for one of our seaside resorts, such as perhaps Southend, Brighton, or Bognor. I think today's retirees have more sense of adventure, would prefer to see their days out somewhere else in a perhaps sunnier climate with less crime and perhaps with a cheaper cost of living. I think the older the person is, the more likely they are, however, to worry and to find new systems more stressful. So it does make sense to try and sort out as much as you possibly can before you go, and that's where we can help you here at the Overseas Guides Company. We have several countries that we have writers who live in the actual country who can help you with anything you want to know about preparation for moving there. It's particularly important when it comes to your finances. There are several things you can do when you move abroad to make sure your pension is safe, for example, and to make it more profitable for you. Again, we've got lots of resources here and can help you with all those sorts of things. One of the biggest issues, and I think one of the reasons people come back to the UK, is when they separate from their family. I think that's especially true for women. If you have children or grandchildren, for example, and are close to them, it really helps to have the resources to be able to visit them. Obviously, if you're going to be in Australia, that's not going to be so easy. But if you're moving to, say, France or Spain, Italy, then I think it's a great idea to visit perhaps little and often rather than a long time for, say, 2 trips a year. It's nice to keep in close contact. Modern technology, of course, these days helps a lot. Don't shy away from email or a webcam. It's really a whole new world. You can watch your young grandchildren grow up, and it makes the pain of separation less sharp. Learning a language when you're older can be more difficult, but it really is possible. You have to try and start learning before you go. If you're a couple, then do it together and make it a joint project. But remember, it does take time, so plan well in advance for that. Having a lot of free time after perhaps having a long working life can possibly be a cause for some adjustment. It's better if you have something to aim for each day, even if it's just taking the dog out or going for a cup of coffee, or perhaps making friends in your local expat community. If you have a longer goal, think about exploring your area, visiting new cities, new museums, art projects, whatever. Sometimes if you've had separate careers for a long time and you're living together all the time, it can cause a sense of perhaps a sense of claustrophobia possibly, but developing interest, as I say, amongst your community and taking time over it will make you settle much more easily, and it's good to keep up your communication. If you're moving somewhere, think about where you're going to go. You might not want to be isolated in the countryside, for example. Give some thought also about the type of property you want. Many people think it'd be lovely to have big land, for example, but do you really want to have all the maintenance a big garden has? Perhaps it would be best just to have a little balcony or courtyard. If you're both retired and you're thinking about the future, maybe a house on one level would be a good idea. It's quite good to have medium and long-term plans. I think it makes you feel more in control of your destiny. We've got lots of resources to you, as I say, here at the Overseas Guides Company, so do contact us if you'd like individual help. You can always email us or call our office in London. We'll always be pleased to help you. Thank you for listening. I will talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.